Howdy, Possum Patty here, and I'm just journaling. Today it's the Bee-u-tiful journal. Come on along. Yes, I did get up and start doing some stuff this morning, and what I did is I printed out a bunch of little pictures here, things I know I want to journal about, and I started working on a page. But before I get into that, let me just show you yesterday's page to see how the final look is with the glitter on the Black-Eyed Susans. And I think the way it came out, it really matches that paper. So I had put brown marker. I don't know, it's going to be hard to see. I put brown marker on the Green-Eyed Susans and turned them brown. And then I put some of this copper color glitter, and it came out looking almost exactly like this paper that I used to frame the picture in. Look at that. It's like almost a perfect match. So I love how this came out. Just a little bit of sparkle on a nature page. So this was supposed to be my daily journal for early summer. I said supposed to be. It still is. I just haven't journaled a lot in it. So I was going through my phone to look for pictures of things that I want to put in here. And we had a wonderful family ladies brunch at my niece's house. So I printed out some pictures from that. And if you watch to the end, the picture of me with the bubble machine, or I'm waving my arms around, that's at my niece's house. So this striped paper was already here. It's the back of this page. And I need to cover up that brad that holds this movable speech bubble right there. And this page was just the back of another scrapbook page. So I got out this really pretty, delicate daisies and purple, look like asters, and cut it to size. And then I'm thinking, what can I do on the edge? And I had this spool of, can't say had, I have this spool of very sheer wired, what do you call this? Is this organza? I don't know. And I bought it because when it's all on the roll, it looks like a really pretty purple, but when you take it off, I said, wow, you can hardly even see the color on that unless you wrinkle it all up. And I don't think I really wound up using it for much of anything. Which is funny because while I was thinking of what I want to put here, I'm thinking, oh, just a light lavender ruffle or piece of ribbon might look really pretty with these delicate flowers. And I said, oh, I know. And I went in and I got this. This is from Easter, last Easter. And I cut a strip, and I did cut off the wires and the shiny bit at the edge, because I didn't want this on the edge, this little plastic bit. I just wanted it nice and pretty like this. Did a zigzag stitch, put it right on the paper. Sometimes, if I'm going to put them in the journal, I'll sew it and then glue it down. But since this wasn't glued in the journal yet, I'll just sew it right on there. And I like how it came out. It's going to stick out just a little bit on the edge, make a pretty edge there. And then I'm thinking, well, I haven't made too many pockets in this journal. And I had the scraps left over from making that page. Here's some more of it. And so I made a pocket for this side, but I like to cut it in an uneven edge. So I'm going to glue that down there. And then I said, what can I put on that brad? So I cut out some more of these flowers. And I'm thinking, well, I can just put that right there up in the corner for a little interest. And I'm thinking, well, let me add a touch of this organza there. So I think I'm going to try and fold this into sort of a semicircle cluster thing, like that. Put that under there somehow. I'll get it a little better in a minute. And then for some reason I thought, well, maybe I should put a button up there. So I think I'm going to go look for a button, maybe a yellow button to put right in the center of that daisy. I don't know if I have any small yellow ones, but I'm going to go look. Okay, I thought I saw a little yellow one in this jar, so I dumped them all out here. I do have a tray to do this, but I didn't get the tray out. I might put a little yellow button right there. Maybe with a little bow on it. And then in the other jar where I have the vintage buttons, I did pull this one out, which I thought was kind of interesting, but the little metal thing on the back might be a little too hard to deal with. And maybe it's a little bit too mustard colored. But that might be from the 70s. Mustard was a very popular color in the 70s. Avocado, green, mustard yellow. Oops, I think I dropped one. All right, let me put these away. I've got these parts glued down and the little pocket over here. So while those are drying, I'm working on the little cluster for the corner up there. And what I did was I took that piece and I just started at one side and made pleats like that. And then I took this embroidery thread of some greens, which is just about the same color of thread that I had in my sewing machine. I didn't use that thread on purpose. It just happened to be the color that was in there. And I put a few stitches just to hold all that together. And I'm probably gonna just put that there. Like that, I guess. Sort of. And I want to come up right in the eye of that daisy. That's kind of close enough. Okay, where's my button? Button, button, button. Who's got the button? It's a little tiny yellow button. I have a lot of buttons. Okay, I'm trying to get this onto there. Getting the button in the right place. It's like it's got a little skirt. Probably should have used regular thread to sew the organza because now I got a big lump of embroidery thread there. But I don't mind. It's going to make it look two-dimensional. It's going to make it look puffy. It's going on top of that brad anyway, so let's see what happens with that. It'll look fine. The last buttons I put in, I made a little bow and glued them on. This time I'm actually sewing the button. I guess that's it. Okay, I'm gonna make a knot. And I'm thinking about how to put the pictures on the page. I'm just playing around here now on what to put on this page. And I love this little touch of green sparkle there, so I thought I would add some more sparkle by using a set of die cuts I don't think I've ever used. And it's this lovely mason jar, butterfly, bee, some flowers. And I just opened it up, I think for the very first time. And wouldn't that look fun there? And a little flower down here. Like this. Now does it need something up there? Maybe not. I don't know. Your eye move around. So I was thinking on this page over here, because I have a pocket, that maybe I will make a fun card for the kids from the sister's lunch. This is my great or grand, you say great or grand, grandnephew, my sister, my grandnephew, and my grandnieces, and they are enjoying some brownies that Possum Patty made. Yum, 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 gluten-free brownies. They're loving them. There goes my clock. I cut out 2 of those mason jars, one very sparkly. What if I cut this picture and put them on there like that? Wouldn't that be fun? And then one for little Leo. Leo was the only guy there, but he was allowed because he's only like 2.5. And he had a smiley face shirt on, so I gave him a little smiley face sticker there. And I need some fun paper. And I did find, I have pictures everywhere now. I did find this heart, which kind of matches that rainbow paper, but if I use the mason jars, I wouldn't use that. I don't know. I'm working on some ideas here. All right, so what if I glue down this side? Yeah, glue down this side and think about what you want to do. Think about what I want to do. So, get my glue stick. So, what have I been doing? Let's see. Oh yeah, I have these weeds. I think they're called burn weeds because they show up in waste places or places that have been burned, or I think I discovered them last year in the field where there used to be a burn pit, which is now overgrown. I can't even get out there. And yeah, I think I identified them last year as burn weeds. And they are like, man, they're like 6 feet tall, and their stalks are like, they're like sunflower stalks actually. And they're over where I'm trying to grow my, now I want to center it on the page or center it from the ruffle. I'd center it from the ruffle. So this is actually the mound where the septic tank goes, which we're trying to turn into a little bit of a garden instead of having all the weeds grow there. So So I went out with the big loppers, chop, 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 6 foot tall weeds. I did a little, it was hot, started sweating. I did a little the other day. Got a little bit more to go. Mr. Possums, get out of there, you're gonna get ticks, you're gonna get bugs. I had to chop them down, and when I found some mullein growing underneath, which is a really pretty wildflower, so I'm glad I got the weeds down. I don't call everything weeds, but these were definitely weeds. I should do some research, though, to see if there's any beneficial bugs that like the burnweed. But there's more around, so I'm not going to worry too much about that. More out by the wood pile. Just want to get them off of, I don't know what you call that, drain field. Want to get them off the drain field. Yep. Get them off the drain field. So I haven't used any die cuts lately. I keep trying to remember, you know, use die cuts, use stickers, use washi tape, use this, use that. I'm going to put this down here because that's already sparkly. Okay, one more thing to glue. And that is the flower that went where? I do this every time. Okay. So the flower, that's not staying down, is it? Why is that corner not staying down? Put a little tacky glue. So eventually we'd like that whole area to be something a little bit more tamed. I did do a lot of nature journaling out there. I think it was last year. Well, the first year was like nothing grew there because they had just made the sand mound there. Second year, I got some really nice wildflowers. And now, second and third year was a little bit more overgrown, and now it is like weed city. So it's funny how all that changes year to year. Not all of it gets a lot of sun. So there's some ferns over there. So I could leave the ferns. Try to get some wildflowers to grow. Get my lavender to grow. Leave a little patch for the pumpkins. That's the sunnier part. Got to keep the trees from growing on it. Because it's a drain field. You don't want trees on your drain field. Okay, I like the contrast. I like the shimmer. I like the sparkle. I like the pretty flowers in the background. But I still feel like I need something there and there. I don't know why. Alright, let me see. Well, I did cut 2 flowers, but I didn't poke them out. I didn't do the bee. I thought I was going to do the bee. I didn't do the bee. Alright, let's see how these look. I've just got a lot of little holes here. Poke, poke, poke. Alright, let's see. Oh, I could put a little jewel in the middle. purple jewel. Very sparkly. This one, or I could put two of the same. Kind of like this one. This one looks like a steampunk gear or something. I could make another one of these. Put one there, one there. And I think that would be plenty of sparkle for this page. Oh, almost out of my cat. All right, so I've got my sparklies. I'll probably come back and put a purple jewel there and there. And I'm going to call this page almost done. I couldn't resist cutting out one of these little bees. I can't believe I haven't used this yet. I bought this and I never used it. This was for my journal with the mason jar on it, and I don't think I used it one time in that journal. So I did the little bee there. Stuck them up here, so now I've got my sparkly going across here. He's flying up to these flowers with the little button and the organza there. And I thought maybe I would make a folder for the pocket, because that's something I haven't done in a while. So I'm just going to move that out of the way. I've got a cat in the way. I'm going to use this paper that is the same as the pocket. But I made it sort of uneven, so the cover is a little shorter than the back. And I'm going to line it with this sort of colorful stripy paper. And then I'm thinking about putting two circles there and wrapping something around to tie it, and then putting the kids' picture inside. I wanted something fun for the kids on the inside. Some fun colors. Oh, there goes the cat. And I could put a frame on his, and then, or maybe I could put a mason jar on there. Of course, now I don't know if that'll fit. All right, so I never have a plan when I start. But I picked this because it has the green and the lavender and a little bit of the blue and a darker green. So it sort of goes. It's from a different pack. This is that retro pack I found at the flea market. And it's got some really pretty paper in there. Sort of like a 70s vibe, I think. 70s vibe on that. So what am I going to do? Okay, so I'll go off camera just for a moment and glue these two papers back to back and get two circles and something to wrap around those. Maybe I'll round the corners and think about how I want to put the pictures in. I'm making a big mess with the glue here, but I made my fold before I glue, because when the glue is wet, usually you get kind of like a wrinkle. So if you fold it before, get a nice fold in there, then you won't always get that wrinkle in the center. Well, I'm trying to work this out. I glued little Leo there. I can put some journaling there. I've got this niece on one jar, and I got some flowers. I cut a bunch of flowers. And I used the green, the purple, and the paper, that paper, from the scraps. And I've got to glue this one down here. And she's looking over at that one. And I want this jar to poke out a little bit. And then I'm going to put some flowers poking out down here, like that. But then I may have to change my idea of having circles here, so maybe I'll just make a tie to go around this. Keep it closed. Okay, so this is going to be complicated. These pictures don't stick very well to this sparkly stuff, so I got to add a little glue and hope that holds it down. Okay, I got a lot of flowers. So she's going to go here, and she's going to go here. And I want to leave room for the flowers to stick out, but I don't want her to show. No, she's not going to show. And I need room for flowers here. So she's going to have to go right about there. I'm going to go ahead and start sticking this stuff down, but where's my glue stick? Not put glue on the top because I'm going to stick the flowers in there. So I'm going to put some glue stick in the middle. This is my special formula. Tacky glue around the edge, but not on the top of the jar. You can tell by how many times my bird clock goes off that I have been in and out today. In and out, making this an all-day project. Lean it that way a little bit. Doing other things in between. Oops. Okay, I want her sort of like that. Oops, I moved it. I moved it. Do the same thing. It's going to be tedious gluing all those flowers down. I guess I can speed that bit up. You know what, if you take the cap off, the glue does come out a little better. So they were in the same picture, and now they are in different mason jars. But I just thought it was so cute. She's taking a great big bite, and she's looking at her like, whoa. Okay, now we're going to get glue everywhere. Now I have to do the flowers. Do you ever notice how when you have all day to do an activity, it actually takes you all day to do that activity? Whereas if you only have a few hours, it only takes you a few hours. So I have been in and out of this room since early this morning, doing a little, going out, doing something else, coming back, doing some more. And now it is time to just wrap it up. Ooh, I like that purple on that green sparkly. Oh, I just got glue all over that one. Glue all over that one. What can I do about it? I don't know. What haven't I used yet? I used sparkly paper, I used photos, I used my old Easter Dollar Tree organza ribbon, used die cuts, did journaling, added some bling. Excuse me. It's not shining. I don't like bling that doesn't shine. I don't know if I can get it cleaned off. Well, let's see. I'll clean that one off, come back to it later. Try this again. Try not to get glue all over everything. I'll clean that other one off after I clean off my fingers. Let's see. Okay, now don't touch it. I made a pocket, I made a cluster, I used a button, and put another die cut. Here's my pocket. These are the die cuts I used. And I made a little folio to go in the pocket. I did have to abandon my little thing I was going to put twine on. I just used up the rest of this ribbon, or organza, whatever you want to call it, to tie this. I did round the edges in the front, left the back square. You can see the little flowers peeking out on the edge of the mason jar. And when you open it up, I have some fun journaling about the kids on that day. And there they are. I got the two girls in the mason jars, which I stuck full of flowers. And there's so many flowers, they're just kind of falling out all over the page. And my sister and Leo got a big happy face there. I used this fun colored paper in the background to match the colors on their summer vibe placemats and plates. I'm going to keep the outside sort of plain, so when you open it up, it's like, whoa, fun, fun, fun. And besides which, I cut off the wires, folded this in half, and I'm going to wrap this around, just as I'm going to wrap this project up and be done. Just enough to make a tie on here. Just enough. So I just want to thank y'all for coming along today, keeping me company while I just do some journaling. And I want to wish you happy junk journal. Oh, look how this sparkles. Happy junk journaling. Happy daily journaling. Happy whatever kind of journaling you decide to do today. Bye-bye. Okay, I'm trying to get this in here. Oh, I didn't do that right. Oh my gosh.